Okay, sorry about that. I think I'm ready. Okay, so this is our, well, I said I was ready. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so this is our Team Faithfully Fit coaching opportunity call. So if you're on this call, you've expressed some sort of interest, or you've been using the programs for a while, you've been drinking Shakeology, maybe you've had some sort of transformation, maybe you're a believer in the program, maybe you're just like, you know what, I think I would be a good coach because Juliet or Tracy or Brandy or Mandy told me I would be a good coach, and you're just a little bit curious. So the idea of this call is just to give you a little glimpse about what coaches do. The coaches that are currently running challenge groups that are on this call right now are Mandy and Juliet, myself, and Brandy. So at the end, you might be able to see us when we get rid of the slideshow. But we just want to talk a little bit about what coaching is. And so some of you know me, some of you don't. So I will just give a really quick overview. Our team is Team Faithfully Fit. So I'm the founder of Team Faithfully Fit. Juliet has her own team name. Brandy has her own team name. All the coaches on Team Faithfully Fit are part of Team Faithfully Fit, and a lot of them branch off. In fact, one of the women, Kira, on Team Faithfully Fit is actually having her own call tonight. She's out on the West Coast, and she was like, enough of this 6 p.m. business when we're all coming home and doing dinner. I'm doing my own. So when we're sleeping at midnight, she's going to be doing the same call with all West Coasters. So it's very much a team environment. But every single person who is a coach has an opportunity to sort of branch off and do their own thing, which is sort of cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, about Beachbody as a company, what coaching is, a little bit about the compensation plan, and then what your options are after this call. So we all started off, most of us, I'd say 99.9% of us started off as a challenger. So when I have 4 children, I've been married for 12 and a half years, and I had all 4 of my kids in just under 6 years. So about five and a half years. So I was definitely very inconsistent with my exercise. I had always been an athlete. I had always been very physically fit. I worked at it. My eating was pretty inconsistent, but I feel like, especially after I had my 3rd and then onto my 4th, I sort of just started to get into this downward spiral. And with each pregnancy, I never really lost all the weight. And I literally just kind of got into this place where I was eating whatever I wanted, not because that's the way I wanted life to be, but because it was just so busy. So this picture, just these pictures that I picked a little bit about what life was like. I carried my pregnancies very, very large out in the belly. I always seemed to have like kids wrapped around my body. I was physically tired. I had aches and pains everywhere. The eggnog and and cheese and all that shrimp, that was like an appetizer on like a Tuesday night. I mean, that was really like how we used to eat. So it was really just sort of, I just kind of was throwing things and see what would stick. I was definitely a binge eater, definitely an emotional eater, definitely overwhelmed. And just every time I would go to the gym, I would get paged because I had a dirty diaper or a child crying. And I just was totally frustrated with being able to try to get fit. So 2 of my girlfriends from high school talked to me a little bit about Beachbody. I probably said no 8 times before I finally was at the point. I think it was the last time I'd been to Equinox. I had just gotten into my class. We had just gotten through the warm-up, and the buzzer went off, and it was one child had a dirty diaper, one child had gotten like whacked in the face with something, and we had to go. And I was like, oh my gosh, like from the time it had taken me to like get my clothes on and get everyone loaded in the car and pack all the bags, like I had already wasted an hour and a half of my day. And I was like, I can't rely on this type of a schedule for exercise. So I tried T25. It's a 10-week program. I refused to be in a challenge group. I refused to drink Shakeology at first. And I just went in my basement and I wanted to do T25 on my own schedule, but I was dedicated to it. I did it every single day for 25 minutes. And one of those days was a double day. So I would get up in the morning, around the baby's feeding, I would do the workout, and then I would do the workout again at night, and I lost 30 pounds. And I sort of just became a believer like that. I was like, well, this was it was not that it was easy. It was definitely a hard program, but it was just too easy for me to literally like roll out of bed, put on sneakers, work out, and like be showered in 45 minutes. That was what fit my lifestyle at the time. But I also just loved the fact that the programs got me results, right? If you stick to the program and you follow the calendar, and I wasn't even eating a meal plan. Some of you guys have already done the 21-day fix. I wasn't even doing that. I was just like, let me just see if this works and what happens. And 30 pounds just came off. So what happened is that I had obviously, you know, very close friends and family being like, what are you doing? What's this new energy? And I started challenge groups on my own without ever have been in a challenge group. I'm like, I don't know, let me whip something together on Facebook and we can all like do our workout together and like see how this goes. And so that was 2.5 years ago, and it's organically grown. And now I'm really excited to say that just like you guys, just like any other coach, I definitely fall off the wagon. I'm not consistent 100% of the time every single day, but like this top picture of me in a gym, like I work out on my vacations now because I love the way I feel when I work out. I feel like I'm more present for my family. I'm definitely, my energy level is where I want it to be. And I now have changed my mindset on food, and I really eat 90% of the time to fuel my body, right? Instead of just for what like is tasting good or what feels good at the time. So that's sort of how it started for me. And it has just literally grown and grown, and more people have kind of jumped in and wanted to get fit and healthy too. So let me talk a little bit about our team. So what does a team mean? Okay, so you guys have all probably been in a challenge group before, or Carla, you've done Ladies on the Lawn with Juliet. A lot of times It is like challengers just are part of our challenge groups, and they just want a challenge group, and that's it. They want to come in for the challenge group and then they want to leave. Some people decide that they would like to not pay retail prices for the products. They don't want to pay $140 a month for Shakeology. They just want it at a discount. And so they come in and they become a coach because they want the discount, and they either do or they don't want to dabble in coaching. Some people come in like right off the bat and they're like, this is amazing. If I can help people, sign me up. And we're going to talk a little bit about different types of coaches, but it's really what every single coach wants to make of it. Our coaches came in for a leadership retreat. I was telling Christine about this on the phone yesterday. Last weekend, we had a week ago, this past weekend, there were 15 of us. California, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, you name it. They came in from everywhere. And everyone who came in to better themselves and to become a better leader so that they could lead their challengers and that they could coaches on their team. And we studied at the library. We did yoga. This big picture is us after we'd all gotten like hair and makeup done. We had a photographer come in. We're running social media businesses, so we wanted some good pictures to help us like really talk a little bit about what we're doing in challenge groups and to get people excited. But it really is just a family of like-minded people. Every single coach started off as a challenger. They wanted to make a change in their life somehow, some way, and they're all on their journey. Some have lost 50 pounds. Some have lost 5 pounds and have 30 more to go. We're all in different phases of our journeys. But the coaches that have come in and that actually want to do something with the business, they are attracted to our team for a variety of different reasons. One, we do calls just like this. These are called Zoom calls, and our team does these calls every other week. So every other Wednesday, we get on the phone, we get on the video conference. Sometimes it's 4 of us, sometimes it's 15 of us. We all have lives, we all have busy things going on. We're all on different time zones. So it can be hit or miss, but it's all training, and it's not just me. It's leaders of our team will take a turn and they will train about something, whether it's social media, whether it's how to take care of your challengers, whether it's how to understand the compensation, maybe it's how to share your story and to get to that vulnerability with your people. We have a Getting Started Right training for anybody who's like, okay, I want to coach, but what do I do? We have a 10-day training that we run through Facebook. It's just Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. You get the weekends off. And we do some personal development. We do a little bit of social media training, and we basically give you all the tools that you need to get your business started. So at the end of that Getting Started Right training, you have the tools that you need to basically go live with your business. We have Emerald to Diamond training. That's a little bit more of an advanced training for people who usually have been coaching for 3 to 6 to 9 months. And then we have a Facebook group just for our team. Lots of conversation and interaction goes on in that group. And then we have a Vox chain, which is like a walkie-talkie. And it's so that if you're a brand new coach, you have accessibility to your coach for a quick question. And literally on your cell phone, you tap a button and you're like, hey, Juliet, I don't remember the website to get someone signed up for Shakeology. Can you help me? And you tap the phone and Juliet will get back to you. There's no typing. There's no texting. It just provides support that new coaches need, because you probably will have like 500 questions in your first like month. So this just depicts a little bit about some of the coaches. We do trips together in the summer. We go to Summit, which is 25,000 coaches go, and it's just a really great time to get training on how to be a coach. The bottom right-hand corner, every quarter, there's a Super Saturday, which are local, and you go and you do a workout and you learn about the new and up-and-coming things that Beachbody is rolling out. And then you can see there's some more pictures of just some things that we've done as a team. These are just some of the other coaches on our team. I'm going to actually turn it over to Juliet for a second. And Juliet, do you want to talk a little bit about like your decision when you decided that you wanted to coach?
Yep, sure. So as Tracy, I had 3 kids. I had gained 65 pounds with each kid, but I had played college sports. I was always fit. I mean, I played 2 college sports. So I was used to training and doing hard things. And after I graduated college, I was like, I'm done. I'm not working out anymore. And I literally stopped, moved to the city, and had so much fun, and was just really lucky because I had great metabolism. Then I had babies, gained a lot of weight, and lost for the first, lost for the second. And I kept on 10 for the third, but I was like, just wear a blousey top, put a little makeup on. No one's going to notice. And then after 40, life happens, family stuff happens. I definitely am an emotional eater. If I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm anxious is the most of the time. And I gained another 10 pounds. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was right before I go away. Actually, Carla goes to the same place. We go to the beach in the summer. And I looked at my husband and I said, oh my God, I think I have to get a skirt. One of those tops. I can't do this. And he's like, oh, wow. Oh, okay. You can't wear your bikini anymore. I'm like, I cannot wear my bikini. Now it's obscene. So I ran into a friend. I saw a post a friend did on Facebook. And I was like, I cannot go to Joyride for 2.5 hours. I stayed home with the family, to be there with them. I have 2 dogs. That is my time. I walk with the dogs. I'm not going to go to the gym for hours. And she's like, I have the perfect thing. So, and I first was like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like anything I want to do. But I'm like, you did it. I'll totally do it. So I did it. I lost in the first challenge group, which, I was like, there's no way, I'm not going to be able to stop drinking. Like, I love going out and having wine and stuff. I totally cut it all. I wasn't craving it. And we eat pretty healthy in my house. I just ate like wasn't eating balanced. So I would, be eating the kids' quinoa crackers and having, wine for dinner with the crackers, like stupid things. So it was one of those things that was like, now it caught up to me. So the first challenge group, I lost, I think 9 pounds. And then the second one, I lost another 9 pounds. And then I just started getting super strong. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. August, I didn't really work out. I did it like May and the beginning of June, and then kind of summer got in the way and I stopped working out and I ate, but I didn't gain the weight back. And I was like, this is great. My husband took a picture of me and the kids on the beach and I was like, I'm posting this on Facebook. I look so freaking hot. This is crazy. I put it on Facebook and people were like, oh my God, what are you doing? And so I was like, oh, so I sent people to the coach that I was, that got me started. And she's like, okay, you got to do this. And I'm like, no, I have no time. I'm like, totally, I do rescue for the dogs. I do this for the kids. I have no desire. You do it. And probably like the 7th person I sent her, she was like, no, I just can't do this anymore. You have to sign up. I was drinking shakes. My husband was drinking shakes. She's like, you're wasting so much money. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is really irresponsible. So I signed up as a discount coach, and I was a discount coach for a couple months. And then more people were asking me about the picture. That like I kept getting more comments, and I was like, all right. And I started there, and the feeling of helping people was just so awesome. The feeling of like people's husbands coming up and being like, my God, my wife has energy and she's so happy, was just amazing. So it just kind of spiraled from there. And then I couldn't stop. That's how it kind of came about.
And now you're teaching Insanity Live classes.
Yes. And now I'm a group instructor after the summer of doing Ladies on the Lawn.
I love it. That's so cool. Thank you. All right, so let me just give you guys a really quick rundown of Beachbody. So there's Beachbody and there's Team Beachbody. So we are not employees of Beachbody or Team Beachbody. We're distributors of Team Beachbody. But Beachbody actually started with the infomercials. So if you guys might remember back into like the late 90s, the early 2000s, a lot of people, if you would say things like Insanity or Tony Horton or P90X, they were like, yeah, I know that. But then you'd bring in Beachbody and they were like, who? So Carl Deichler and John Cogden, they, after growing their infomercial business to 150 million a year and having the household recognition of the actual programs, they were like, you know what? We are missing a piece. And what they were missing was the accountability piece. So people would purchase these P90Xs or the Insanities off of an infomercial. They still do, actually. It's this whole other arena that like I'm not a late night TV watcher, but there are a ton of people that do. They see an infomercial, they buy it, they get the program, but they weren't completing their programs. So many people in the early 2000s were getting like P90, P90X, and they were talking about how awesome it was, but it was a 90-day program. And without having any sort of accountability or someone to help them with it, the coaching opportunity was formed. So they created a segment of the business called Team Beachbody 10 years ago. We just had our 10-year anniversary, and created this coaching opportunity of people who were already customers. And they pulled some of their best customers in to be the founding coaches. And they were like, listen, we've got this opportunity. If you coach other people and just share the product, you can become a distributor, and we can talk to you a little bit about what network marketing is. So that's how it was born. It was literally just kind of rolled out 10 years ago, and it's become what it's become today. Coaching is really just real people, real transformations. I talk a lot about transformations, but they don't all have to be physical. Okay. So these are obviously physical transformations. These are all real challengers. Actually, Juliet's in the bottom right-hand picture. I'm in the bottom left-hand picture. And then we've got other challengers that are represented here, but like, my picture on the bottom left is when I did the ultimate reset this past spring. So that was like, the left-hand picture was just part of my journey. It wasn't the beginning. It's not the end. And nor is that picture on the right. So sometimes it's about strength. Sometimes it's about weight. But a lot of times these transformations, there are women on our team that will tell you that their self-esteem has totally changed, or they've lost their sugar addiction, or they're not craving alcohol as much as they were, or their skin. We've got people who've had like serious eczema or skin issues gone. We have autoimmune, all kinds of autoimmune. I'm one of them. I suffer from an autoimmune, but there's another woman on our team who has a severe autoimmune. She's not taking any meds for her autoimmune anymore. Not to say that Shakeology is a miracle drug. We definitely believe that there are some amazing things. It's not that we believe. There are amazing things in the ingredients of Shakeology, which is a whole different call. But when you combine Shakeology with a healthy lifestyle, actively moving your body, and then surrounding yourself with other people who have the right mindset, that's when transformations happen. So not only have the transformations happen, but I'm going to move a little bit into the compensation piece and touch on that a little bit. This has been a total organic blessing that has happened. Like I said in the beginning, none of us who are coaching really decided that they were going to coach right off the bat. We all organically became coaches after seeing that the products worked. But also there is a business part of it. Yes, we help people, and yes, we want to be able to provide wellness for others, but there's also a compensation piece that's important. And some people are in financial situations where they really do need the financial help and support. I'm thankful for like the top left-hand picture. That was a trip that we took to Turks and Caicos. It was a place that we'd wanted to go since we'd had kids, and we literally at the spur of the moment decided, you know what, it's time. Let's just take the kids to Turks and Caicos. And so I felt really proud to be able to just say, you know what, I got it, babe. You don't have to worry about it. And that's something that I've seen as my financial income has grown due to coaching. I've seen stresses come off my husband because there's things that I have realized that I can be contributing to the family. Trips, the top right-hand corner, that was a leadership trip. There are several women on the team who are going to be qualifying for this trip. As you move up and become just more of a leader in your business, Beachbody will actually send you on trips to get further training. So the top right-hand picture was in LA. I was there a year ago, and my brother lives in San Diego, so I couldn't go all the way out to the West Coast and not pop down and see him. And then the bottom left-hand picture was the balcony of my room. Just we had a little power session, and we went back to go work on some things to come back to the general session. So the ongoing training, not only that you get from your own team, but that you get from the company in general, is fantastic. So I'm going to preface this whole compensation piece by saying that obviously it's not a guarantee, right? It's not a get rich quick. This is not a pyramid scheme. This is not anything other than a really cool way that you are able to help other people and grow a team. What I love most about the way that Beachbody is set up compared to other multi-level marketing companies is that we are binary. And so what that means is if you decide that you want to be a coach and you sign up other people who want to be coaches on your team, you will make money on their volume, but guess what? They also make money on your volume. And what's really cool about that is that it really condones working together, because the better that we all do, the more people that we help, and financially we're all rewarded. So it's not like if you sign up people underneath you, you're the only one who's going to make money. It doesn't work that way at all. It's also a very slow going process. So as you see here in the left-hand corner, this is Megan. She's a coach. She's been a coach obviously since 2010, you can see, but she shows what her weekly income was year after year. So after the first year, she's making $167 a week. So after 1 year, you can see that she pretty much worked for nothing her first year. That's not the case for everybody, but in her case, it was much more of a slower start. By year 2, she was making $785 a week. By year 3, $2,700 a week. And then after the 6th year, $18,000 a week. So again, it takes a lot of sweat. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of grind. This is completely, if you read any book about being an entrepreneur, this is exactly what it is. It is learning and failing forward and starting over and having to like reinvent yourself until you find your niche in the way that you market yourself on Facebook or social media, or just the way that you run your challenge groups and have successful challengers. On the right, this is somebody who talked about how she really wished that she would have stayed more consistent. You can see here, she says, I just want to show how I struggled. My weekly commission the first week of March since I started. So you can see she admits that she was not consistent with the business. And you can see year after year, $23, $35, $143. So her first 3 years, she wasn't really scratching the surface. And then you can see where she got consistent in 2012 and how that compounded year after year after year. And she talks about how she really wished she wouldn't have slacked off the first 4 years, because the consistency and the patience is what got her to where she is, making $9,000 a week. So Faithfully Fit is part of Shred Nation. So this couple that you see here, Rob and Chelsea, they have been coaching for 6 years. They met in the network. They got married. It's a very, very cute story. But so they do this full time. They travel the world. They do this full time. There are 5,000 coaches in Shred Nation, and Faithfully Fit, we are 500 of those 5,000 coaches. So they've been working at this for a long time. Their team provides us a lot of training, a lot of support. So it's great to be part of other people's teams where you can actually get great ideas and information on how to inspire other people. But you can see here, I hope this isn't in your way, you can see that year after year for them, 2012, 2013, 2014, they show their weekly average, and then they show their annual income. So again, you can see the first year making $25,000, 4 years later making $640,000. These are obviously coaches who are making this kind of income that are doing this, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week. There are plenty of coaches that we're going to talk about in a minute that maybe just want to do it as a hobby, and it would just be great to have their own Shakeology covered, and that's totally fine too. We match your pace based on what you see the opportunity doing for you. Okay, so I'm going to just talk about the 3 different options of coaches. So I've kind of touched on this already, but in the green bubble, you see this is a discount coach. This is somebody who maybe you're already a discount coach. This is how I started. This is how Brandy started. This is how Juliet started. We just loved the Beachbody products. They made us feel great. Our coach told us, hey, you know what? You can keep drinking Shakeology paying retail, or you can get 25% discount. Every coach makes 25% discount. So you get the 25% off the 3-day refresh, the ultimate reset. You want to buy a couple shaker cups so you have extras, boom, you get your 25% off. So we have plenty of coaches that we call discount coaches, and I hate to label them because I've had discount coaches that have been a discount coach for 2 years, and after 2 years they're like, you know what? I think I might want to talk about coaching. So I don't like to label people as much, but I just want to be able to show you guys on the call that if you say yes to coaching, it doesn't mean you have to go make $600,000 in 4 years. Mm-hmm. It just means that you can be a coach. You don't have to sell. You don't have to help other people. You can save your $16 to $20 a month and call it a day. If you look in the blue bubble, we have a lot of hobby coaches on our team. These are usually people that have a full-time job, or they're stay-at-home wife or mom, or they just, are busy with their life and don't really see how they would be able to incorporate Beachbody as a full-time career, but they want the discount and they kind of want to share their journeys. They like sharing. They like inspiring people. They know of people that they can help. And so they invite some of their close friends or family, and they're like, hey, you know what? Do you want to do this challenge group with me? It would be fun. Jump in. Let's do it together. They make some spending money. They cover their cost of their own Shakeology. They help their coach run a challenge group. And that's it. So we have plenty of hobby coaches that do that and are completely happy. I've got one hobby coach that she's like, I just want to pay for my Shakeology, and I just want to be able to pay for a family vacation at the end of the year. That's it. I just want to make that. And that's totally fine. And then in the red bubble, you've got the business builders. Those are the Brandys, the Tracys, the Juliets of the world, where we do this full time. We do this to build financial freedom, to help with school costs for our children, to give us an outlet outside of motherhood, because we know that we're good at it, because we know we inspire people. These kind of coaches recruit other coaches. And when we say recruit, I don't like to use that word in a way that's like yucky. Most of our coaches come from, as we've talked about, people who have been challengers before, and it happens organically in conversation. Hey, you'd be a great coach. Have you ever thought of it? No, I had no idea. And we share what coaching has done for us. And we never are going to drag anyone along. I'll talk about that in a minute. But these coaches are the ones that do it for financial freedom. These are the coaches that also will continue on their training and their leadership so that they can be better at what we do. So this was us last weekend at my house. These were the 15 of us that got together for the weekend. I'll start with what we are not. So none of the coaches that are on our team or that are really in like Shred Nation Network, they're not salesy, they're not poachers, they're not doing this to get rich quick. We're not schemers. We won't beg people. We won't beg people to join us. We always match the pace of the other person, right? Because if we have challengers that drop out of challenge groups, we don't take it personally. We know that they're just not quite ready yet, and we just give them their space, and we love on them, and we always invite them to come back to challenge groups. There are coaches that start off and they love it and they're gung-ho right off the bat and they do great, depending on whatever kind of coach they have. There's other coaches that do it for maybe a year and they're like, you know what, it's just getting too busy for me. I've got X, Y, and Z, and they step back and become a discount coach. So we have all different kinds of coaches, and we always give people the freedom to go at the pace that's most comfortable for them. But what we are is we're moms, we're dads, we are teachers, we're dreamers, we're leaders, we're corporate women, trying to see who else I've seen here, traveling corporate women, IT professionals, PE teachers, stay-at-home moms, volunteers, go-getters, accountability partners. So it's just a really amazing group of people. Did I miss anything, Brandy, that you wanted to add? She's good. She's on mute. She's like, I'm all right. Juliet, did I miss anything before I just talk about the follow-up in the last slide?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. So sounds good. Now what? So if you have more questions or you're excited or you want to talk in more detail, definitely message the person who invited you to the call. And just start to have some conversation about what kind of coach you think you might want to be. If you are interested in being a discount, a hobby, or a business builder, we do have a training that starts Monday. And that training, like I said, that's called our Getting Started Right training. We do it in Facebook. It's a private group. And it gives you the tools that you need. A lot of times people are like, all right, my neighbor wants to do this. What do I do? That training tells you like how to sign someone up, what it means to be a retail customer, what it means to be a coach, how to work your back office and see how you get paid, how do you run a challenge group. It goes through all of that. But let them know what you think. Have some good dialogue with them. Get involved in your coach's next challenge group. A lot of times the best way to sort of dip your toe in is while you're going through the training to jump into the challenge group, and your coach might say, hey, you know what? Day 7 is all yours. Feel free to do the post or do a video if you want. And go for it and just see how that feels and see what the response is with other people in our challenge group. Or we have, challengers that just want to get through the training first, and then they are one of the 4 coaches running a challenge group and they go all in. So it just depends. And again, we always have that kind of dialogue and that kind of conversation. But just know, I think a lot of times when people end this call, it's like you can take it as far or as little as you want. Most coaches start off just gaining information. We just had somebody who quit her corporate career after 20 years and 12 of them being on the road away from her girls. She was able to leave her job and coach full time, which is really exciting that she's helping others, but she now can stay home and she can work her own hours and kind of trade in the corporate shoes for 20 years that she did running around. But it all started with her just helping one person and just kind of letting it roll out organically. So that's it. I hope I gave you guys some good information that you can take back with you and talk to your coaches. But I will open it up for FAQ in case anybody has a question while we're all on the phone together. No. Okay, we're good.
You covered it perfectly.
Right. Everyone's like, yeah, it's 9:38. I'm tired. I got to get my tea and go to bed.
Yeah, we got a busy day tomorrow.
We do. Rest up those muscles. Yeah. Actually, is everyone in a challenge group? We all have a busy day tomorrow. We got work to do. I know Christine's got hammer and chisel she's got to go do. Carla, are you doing something right now?
I'm in a challenge group. Yep.
See, Brandy's in a challenge group. She's coaching one with me, so we all need to be hitting the sack for 7 hours.
I was telling Carla about T25. She's been doing 21-day fix extreme. She's like me, though. She like totally is the weight person. And I was like, I hated T25 like until the 5th time I did. Now I love it.
Yeah.
I think I'm buying it actually.
You don't have to buy it. You can stream it now.
I can stream it. Right. I may do that.
All access.
Yeah. It's amazing.
That's Tracey's favorite. Her favorite.
Everyone has a soulmate workout, right? It's the first one that you did that kind of got you hooked. I just told Christine she's got to try Body Beast. She was talking about wanting to throw some weights around. I was like, if you can handle Sagi, you should do Body Beast. So
I
funny.
like him.
Yeah, I can't handle him.
Oh, well, he's
Well,
actually.
I like Autumn.
You can mute it. You can mute it and then
Yeah,
do
I
it.
just mute him. I just look at him. But
Yeah, right. I know he's got a great body.
I don't mind looking at him. I just mute the voice.
Yeah. Well, there's a coach on our team, Megan Jones. I mean, she loves Sagi. She gets so
Love
mad
him.
when we're like, "Oh, he's so cheesy." She's like, "He's really not. I really like him." Shows the diversity on our team, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So funny. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for taking time out to sit on our call.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
for
This is
including
great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great one, everybody.
us. Okay, good night.
Thank you,
Bye.
Tracy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.